welcome back everyone. In this one, Mike and I got started way before the camera started rolling. We talk about Seven Sisters Springs, north of Clearwater. We take a minute to learn how to read the word complexity, and then really dive into Ron Zacapa rum. There are quite a few outtakes. Join us for some laughs. And we're back at the RumJohn bar. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we're joined with Mike up in Virginia. How are you doing, Mike?
What?
How is it up there today? Is it, I know it's pretty steamy here today, but.
This is like my perfect temperature weather.
Yeah,
it's one of those where it starts out in like the upper 50s and then it works its way, it creeps its way to like 68, maybe 70.
Nice.
I love it. This is what I call my perfect golf weather.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can go out and you swing a whole 18 rounds and not like break a sweat hardly.
Okay, but yeah, so I still break a sweat, but yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
So no, it's pretty warm. It's warm down here. It's not too bad.
What do you got down there? Temperature?
Well, yeah, it's 90 and 70.
So it hasn't changed much since I left there.
No, I mean the humidity's nowhere near it was when you were here. That was ungodly. You're just like, I can't breathe.
And thank you for everyone that made the comments on the fact that yes, I have shaved a beard, and you noticed in the last video I didn't have it. So
yes. He's clean shaven. He's sleeker. He's more aerodynamic. He's agile.
I've tried explaining that to Danielle. It doesn't go off well.
They don't get it, do they?
No.
So yeah, it's you know, again, it's not crazy hot down here. So we took the RV out again and
hey, how did it go, by the way? How was it?
You know, I know I was texting you during that because you were getting your eyes taken care of.
Danielle was actually reading that to me, by the way.
Nice.
Seriously. Yeah, she was. Who's that? That was your friend, John. It was almost like, you know, Allegra reaching out to me.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I had to lean over to make sure I had her on mute.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would have to say it's another one of those places in Florida where it's kind of a hidden gem that we went to. So Florida is riddled with springs. Water springs pop up.
I'm here to tell you, I'm totally envious of you guys on how you're able to just like uproot and do what you do. I'm totally envious of that.
Oh, the travel stuff. I'm very trying to stay positive, and it's just kind of roll with what we got. And you know, my son is homeschooled, and I, for the most part, work from home. So,
which means you're homeschooled also.
Yes, I am being homeschooled. I one of these days I'll get it right.
Yes.
But yeah, so since that's the way it is, we just kind of said, okay, as long as we both have internet, we can do our job. So I worked a Friday and a Monday from the RV, and we went to a place called Seven Sisters.
It's a constellation in the sky.
Yeah. You know, I have never looked that up, but my daughter has really gotten into that. If you have an Android phone, you can get that sky map.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She we'll be sitting out here at the pool and the sun will go down, and she instantly, as soon as she sees the moon out, she's like wants my phone so that she can start doing that. So that's cool.
The second that I see that the International Space Station is in the northern hemisphere of the sky and it's within angular view of me, I immediately go on my deck and moon.
Right.
I mean, there's no chance whatsoever they're going to see it, but I do.
They could be up there.
I legitimately.
Mike's doing it again.
They could be. That is a good point. They could be 100% tapping into the Hubble telescope and like, hey, turn it around. Let's see what's going on Earth. And yes.
Yeah. Or at least, at the very least, maybe an interesting Google photo, right? So so we went to this place called Seven Sisters. It's outside the city of, and I am going to murder this. I will destroy this. It is called Chassahowitzka. Howizka. It's spelled Chashahowizka. Chassahowitzka. But yeah, the little campground we stayed at was I guess it's a privately run, but it's a state owned or whatever. And you can rent kayaks and canoes and John boats with motors on them if you don't want to actually use your arms. You can go into the water where you get the kayaks and things, and it's literally like 150 yards, and you're at the spring. And the cool thing about that is you get in the water, and the water is, I'm on a kayak, I'm getting in the water, and you look down, and the water looks dark, but it's not. It's actually clear. The ground is dark. So it makes it look like it's like a dirty river kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just going to ask how the water.
So yeah, it is very, like, you're going along, and like I said, you look down and it looks brown, but like then all of a sudden you see like grass go by, and you're like, oh wow, that is all like
it's that
just
clear.
Brown. Yeah, it's like you can see the seaweed, but yeah, you're in easily 4 or 5 feet of water, and you can see the bottom clear as day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Which is kind of odd, because sometimes when you have the chance for kayaking and everything else, you kick up so much of the swell of dirt from underneath that you really can't see. So
yeah, and that was the other thing too, is so you get in and you go to the right and you go 150 yards, and then there's the it's almost like a really big creek bed kind of thing where, okay, so it's probably 50 feet wide, and it narrows down to like 15 feet wide maybe. And then you can't take your canoe. At that point, you're walking through a creek bed. But the water there is like tap water clear. Like you said, when you kayak in there and you hit the water, the soot and stuff on the bottom,
yeah,
this spring is constantly moving. So you do that, you see it, and then it floats away.
Yeah, you stir up the sediment. Yeah.
Yeah, when you stir up the sediment, but the current is constantly coming up from the spring and then going down to that river.
Yeah.
That riverbed that you start out in. And so literally, it's like people are walking around and they're kicking up the sediment, and it's still clear because as they're kicking it up, it's being carried away.
Okay. So how far away was this?
From us, or
yeah,
it was about an hour and 45 minutes north of us.
This is north of like Land O'Lakes and everything else.
Yes, and it's north of that. It's up by like Crystal River, where the manatees.
Oh, I know where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice up there. It's a little too far away from a city for me. I like to be out in the sticks, but be able to get to a concert in an hour.
That's only because you like working the corners.
Hey, I
don't judge. Hey, I don't judge. I don't judge.
Money don't grow on trees. I got bills to pay.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I love that song, by the way. So the springs. Now I'm choking up. Not only was it clear, but like if you're not careful, because it's kind of like your sand over here and it's kind of rock over here. Remember, it's only like 50 to 15 feet as it goes through. So as you're going, like there's sand on this side, but it's rocky on that side. And when we first got in there, I didn't know what people were doing, but they were all standing in like this little area, 2 different areas. And
like a waiting area, or?
Yeah, well, it almost looked like it. Like everybody was just kind of waiting around, in the water, but they were waiting around. And then it dawned on me, or I just kind of realized it when a guy popped up out of the water, and I went, wait a minute, this water is like 1.5 to 3 feet deep. Where'd that guy come from? And there's caves. So the springs create these caves. So they basically are tunnels, whichever. I'm going to call it caves so that I can check that box. I went cave diving, right?
What?
Yeah. So these springs are creating these caves in these hard rock, I don't know, limestone or whatever it is. So you can go in over here, down 9 feet, go in the water another 10 feet, and then come back up.
Did you do that?
Yes, twice. Yes.
Oh.
It was amazing. But I'm going to tell you right now, I watched a guy do it, like a project manager we know named Chris Bald. He went in and did it. He looked just like that guy. He went in and did it, and it came up, and he had blood coming down at the back of his head because he bumped his head. I went in and said, not this guy. So, oh, wait, best part about it, I used my daughter's goggles. So I had pink goggles on. 6'3", 240, pink goggles. Let's do this.
Yeah, Manly. Go ahead, Manly. Continue.
There you go, sir. Right this way. So I went in and I halfway on both of these that I did on the two. So there's the first tunnel.
Did you have fins on your feet too?
No, okay. And that would have been so much easier because you're going
because
down.
You're trying to force yourself down.
Yeah,
technically, you should have had fins.
You're as big as this bar is. It's probably only this big of a hole that you're trying to go down 9 feet or so, and then cut up and then go in. And when it's so. The cool part about it, if you will, is after I saw that guy, I was like, nope, not me. So I went down, and as I went down, I rolled on my back and kind of went like this.
Oh, you scraped towards the top.
Right. So I was like, nope, I'm not going to bump my head. As soon as I'm going down and I come up, I'm going to know.
Like you're crawling through. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but the cool part is I saw everyone else's exhaled air bubbling on the bottom of the rocks. So there was all these pockets of air. It was amazing. And I didn't have my stupid GoPro. I'm like, oh, the first one was that. So I went down and I rolled on my back and I kind of went through and I came up, and the hole to go down is this big. The hole to go up was this big. And that's why that guy knocked his head, because it's like super, everybody was going at the start of the day, the current was going the other way. Yeah. So it wasn't so bad. So people were going down the more narrow hole and then coming up the wide one. But so what I didn't know is while we were going through this one, there was a whole group of other people, another 25 feet away, doing the same thing on another tunnel. But this tunnel had like 4 holes. So if you were like, it's almost like it was the starter cave, right? Because like if you were a chicken, you could come out on this one. If you
is this like band camp?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Like a flute with all the holes. And if you don't know that reference, go see. Yeah. But yeah, I tried to get my son to go.
Did your son go to the first one?
No, he did not. He looked at it and came out. He did not go down. But on the second one, on this other one that had the 4 holes, I pushed him down and he went all the way down and kind of like stood like this underneath it so that he could see all the way out. And then that was enough. And then he came back out. Yeah. So I mean, he's 7 years old. I'm proud of him for at least trying that, because it is pretty scary. I mean, that's a great
experience.
You're going down in a tube this big, and then it's a tube that big going off another, I don't know, 20 yards. All right, so Alex went down in the one with the 4 holes. He wanted to go, but I actually had to like shove him down. And so I felt like the worst dad in the world, because here I am standing over this 9-foot hole of water and I'm shoving my son down in it. But I mean,
it's almost like a drown effect, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's so...
Don't worry, you can get counseling for him later.
Right, okay? Yeah. You know what? Our insurance covers that. So yeah, I shoved him down, and I'm proud of him because he went down and he was able to like go down like this and push up on the cave wall and then look down and see all, the whole way through. But that was enough for him. He wasn't going to go through, and I don't blame him too, because like I said, you're going down something this big.
When you say whole way through, how far are you really actually seeing though?
15 feet.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's far enough that you're like, I mean, if you don't kick off the wall to get to the other end, for me, right? Not all that in shape. If you don't kick off the wall, you're going to have some trouble.
What do you mean? You are a handsome physique.
Yes. I hide it well. So what we have again today is rum. And the last week we did the Zaya. We did Zaya. This week we're doing another one. And like I mentioned last week.
Yeah, you haven't had before.
If I have, it would have been...
Not in a dose of sobriety?
I will be honest, at that point, I wasn't where I am now, where I'm like, I really want to understand rum.
Wait, was that event where I had to take a friend of ours out to Denny's at 2
Yes.
o'clock in the morning because he wanted breakfast?
Yep. Love you, Rob.
Love you, Robbie.
Okay, so I have not tried this. I want to try. I've always kind of wanted to really kind of try it, and you mentioned it, and I was like,
No, because there's so many ages of it that and the different flavors and everything else.
I'm glad we did this because this is one of the ones where I know when I talk to people about like, oh, good rum, everybody names this one. Everyone comes up and says this, and so I will admit, when I first started this show, this is the one that I was going to start with. So I don't want to go into too much detail, but I will tell you, this is kind of another one I was very surprised at. When I did the research, and here's what I did. Like last week where we didn't give away the flavors and stuff like that until after we drank it, I will tell you, this was a surprise to me because like I said, everyone says like, oh, if you're going to go to a good one, go to this, and this is another blended one.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
so they do the same thing as what
like
we
Zaya
about,
and
Zaya and everything else.
Do like again,
Westerhall does the same thing. Yeah. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, even it's really starting to
be a thing, right?
Yeah, it's surprising me how many people are actually going, I don't want to distill. This is too much work. Let me let those guys distill. I will taste theirs, figure out which ones I like, mix them in a barrel, and save them for a couple years, and then turn around. Yeah. So with that, I will talk to you about Ron Zacapa from Guatemala. So it's interesting. Zacapa is actually a city in Guatemala. And Ron Zacapa Centenario was created at the the centennial of the city of Zacapa.
So it's actually a city.
Yeah, that shocked me too. So Ron Zacapa is a like I said, a premium rum produced in Guatemala. It's created by a subsidiary of Industries Licoreras de Guatemala. Basically, it's a corporation that creates a whole bunch of other liquors called
How's your Spanish is what it's called.
Yes, it's in Spanish. Google Translate will tell you what it means. But and distributed marketing, Diego. It's like I said, it's another blended, and there's a master blender who is actually the person not the master.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
apologize.
Right. And the early bottles actually were all covered in this potato.
Yep. God bless you.
I love you too. Made from palm leaves, which dates from Mayan period. Now, because probably I can't get enough people to hand woven something so cool like that, it is only the bottom half of the bottle.
So that's hand woven?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Like
that's phenomenal.
I mean, it almost makes me want to keep it, but I mean, I'm just like, man.
The problem is if I kept every bottle I really wanted to keep.
Yeah, that's true. It used to be called 23 Años because it had rum that it was somewhat misleading because it's not 23 years old. 23 years old is the oldest rum they used in the blend.
Yeah.
The actual rums age from 6 to 23 years old. So, wow. So it's kind of like a wait, what?
So you're talking about something that is potentially aged from 29 years to 46 years?
No, other way around. It's only the youngest rum put into this is 6 years old. The oldest is 23.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking from the opposite end of the spectrum. Okay.
Right. So they put a 23-year on there because it has 23-year-old rum in there, but it is not 23-year-old rum.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. So that's where that like, wait a minute.
That's where the drunk math really comes into play.
So, and this is surprising to me.
It's the whole blending factor.
It's a blending factor. And then I'm trying to remember last week, but I think you had the same problem last week. They do not have a very good web page.
No, they don't.
We do our research. We go out and we go, all right, let me go to your corporate website. Let me go to your history page. Let me dig into how you say you do everything. I went to Ron Zacapa's website and it said website in progress.
Yeah, like, thanks, Ron.
Yeah, this is not a new. So I had to literally. I'll show you all the notes that I have here are from.
You honestly expect that from like Pete and IT, you know?
Yeah, but like, look, this is all Wiki. So hey, Wiki, I hope you guys got your stuff right because their website was basically the only thing I got from their website was this stuff that I'm not going to talk about right now because it's the flavors and the keynotes that we're supposed to be taking. I am pushing that aside right now.
Thank you for saving that.
So let's open this.
So just for those viewers, a couple weeks ago, RumJohn had a problem with opening a cork.
Wow, this one is, where's the little tab?
That's what I was totally expecting.
Oh, I kind of, yeah, it's like you have to look for the change in color, don't you?
You do.
Wow.
And there's a cork, John. How are you going to do that?
Hey, I got it.
Oh, look at you.
You know what? I didn't even peel it off. I just popped it.
I am not going to, no, seriously. I'm not going to sniff it until we actually get into the glass.
All right, I won't. All right, we got our glasses. This is the second episode with these fantastic glasses again.
Oh, that is really, it's almost like molasses pouring in.
Yeah, it is. That is.
You see that? Everybody, you see that?
It is a very dark color.
That is magical. Okay, sniff.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like you.
That's so okay. So from the Zaya we had what was it last week? 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
I don't get the caramel as much.
I get a honey.
So ready? Cheers. Salute.
Cheers. Ooh, that's
a very woodsy taste hangs on the back of the tongue.
Yes, very earthy is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that's what this reminds me of. Like when you smoke a peppery cigar or an earthy cigar, that's kind of what this reminds me of.
I'm getting like a slight butterscotch. It's a very, very slight hint of butterscotch. Do you not pick up on that?
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because it's like there is a sweetness to it and a smoothness to it.
That's almost the most prominent flavor I actually experience right now is the butterscotch.
All right, so you want me to hit the notes here? All right, so appearance. Let's talk about the appearance, right? They are 100% right with a mahogany length with tones of long barrel aging at the rim.
Totally right on color.
Favorite quote out of any research we've done so far. Ready? Aging at the rim and long, slow legs clinging to the glass.
That is true, though.
It's just the long, slow legs clinging to the glass. God bless you.
Sweet mother of pearl.
Yeah.
Those are long legs. Those really are long legs.
It definitely hangs.
No, I mean, if you actually try to really swish it up,
yep,
those legs hang from the very top all the way down to the bottom. Those are fantastic. Go ahead.
So, all right, so that is the appearance. Keynotes, wonderful, intricate with honey, butterscotch, spiced oak, we got that, and raisined fruit, showcasing the clementi. I don't really. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you right now, it's COMLEITEY.
Let's spell it one more time.
COMLEITY. Comelighty? Yeah. I'm going to say we're moving on. Okay. Of the Sistema Celera aging process.
So let's recap this. It's a blended. It's just like what we've had with other different blends of rum where they They kind of bring in the best of what they feel in terms of the flavor. It's got a butterscotch. To me, it's got a butterscotch. John, you feel the same way?
Yeah, I definitely hit the butterscotch on that. Yeah.
I don't know if I feel the smoke as much as I do before.
So I think the smoke is that earthy tone that we keep hitting.
Okay.
Because like I said, to me, it reminds me of smoking a cigar. Maybe
if you've got a rum that we have not so far sampled, give us in the comments below, right? Give us something that you're not going to typically find. We will figure out a way to purchase it.
So that's a good point, right? We're coming up on we've got a really good couple episodes that are coming up for kind of the finale for season 1. Season 2, not too far away, and we would love to get more feedback from you on what rums you want us to try and have us go out there. And for the love, I'm still looking for a recipe for some sort of bananas foster with bamboo.
I want syrup from bamboo.
Make some syrup. All right. On that note, I'm going to say, hey, thank you. Hit like, subscribe, sit back, relax, have a drink, and enjoy the ride.
Brothers and sisters, we love you.
Love you guys.
I don't care what the marketing director says. You are not a hoe.
6'3", 240, pink goggles. Let's do this.
Oh, well, the wife will not let me.
I couldn't find a little peel off thing, so I just popped it straight off.
It's got a really woody. It's like a woody, a woodsy kind of, a very woodsy taste hangs on the back of the tongue.